Hello and welcome. I am Julie with Driftwood Hill Design, and today we're going to be kind of just taking this jar, and I've done some floral foam, and we're going to put some flowers on top of it. This makes an excellent gift. You can put a gift card in there and give it to a teacher, and then also like fill it with a candy, just anything, a little hostess gift. This would be perfect for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up over here while people are starting to log on. And just so I can see your comments over here, because if you were with me last time, I had a hard time seeing the comments. I'm also going to go shut the door to my laundry room. You guys can probably hear the dryer. Our laundry room is basically like right over there, so I totally forgot to shut the door before we go. But it's pretty cool that the laundry room's over there because I've got an over the door shoe rack holder and it's holding nothing but ribbon. All right, so I can see on the computer as well. Let me just this oops. I thought that was gonna There we go. There we go. Thought it was going to, I made it smaller instead of larger on my computer screen. All right, so as you can see, this is just a jar that I picked up from Home Goods, I believe. Yes, so it's just a jar from Home Goods, and then I did the floral foam on top of it. Now, I did very little floral foam on top, very little. So it's probably only about 2 inches tall. And honestly, all I did was go around the inside kind of the top of the lid and then just around a few times. And that probably, I probably only did, honestly, maybe no more than like 2 heights of the foam. So when I did that. So that's it, that's what we're gonna do. This would be great to fill with candy and then a gift card and give it as a hostess gift or as a gift for a teacher. So I want to do it. It was quick, or it should be quick, I should say. Should be, that's always the key word in there. All right, so we're gonna be using some greenery that I got from, this one was At Home, just a stem of that from At Home. And then I'm honestly not sure where these came from. But when you pick out flowers, you want to make sure that, you get smaller flowers. And so these are just ranunculuses. And then this is just a different ranunculus that has more, I call it that cute little like pumpkin center in those. They're so cute. And we're gonna be using that. And then I also have this, which was from Michael's Spring Line years ago, but I still have them. And we're just gonna be using those sparingly. And if you wanted to do some ribbon and make a bow, you can. I would just recommend like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch ribbon, but that would also look great there. And if you're joining us, whether it's the replay or whether it's live, I would love to know where you're watching from. Just go ahead in the comments, put down what state you are watching from. And it's always fun to see where everybody is at. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is cover this with a little bit of moss. Now, reindeer moss is my favorite to use, but you can use any other kind of moss. It's totally fine to use any other kind of moss. I just prefer reindeer moss, just because I like the look of it better, and I also feel like it doesn't get so stringy everywhere. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start, and with this one, what I like to do is kind of go between the two. So I'm not wasting, and this one's going straight in through the sides. I wanna cover up the side. I'm just gonna go around And if you're watching the replay, definitely do hashtag replay so I know that you were able to catch the live and watch. And again, if you have any questions, please put them in comments and I will catch them. I will say this week has been super, super busy for us. All right, I'm gonna go in here. All right, this I'm gonna pull out. It's just dark and it's a little bit hard. All right, so there we have that. Oops. Now I can see kind of down here. Oh, this is dangling. I'm gonna pull that one off. But I can also see like right here kind of have a hole. So I'm just gonna use a little bit to cover it up. I'm sorry if you hear those footsteps. That's my little guy running. He had a job to do, and that was to remove all his stuffies, stuffed animals. For those of you that may not have kids, they are now called stuffies instead of stuffed animals. To remove those all off the bed so I can put new sheets on the bed. All right, so there it is all the way down and around and on the top. Now, what I am going to be doing, and I have done, was I have taken a floral pick and I've cut it down. So I probably honestly don't need to. It probably is tall enough to make it through, but I just wanted to make sure. I took off about, looks like a 1/2 inch on each, or on this one. So this I'm gonna be putting down just right in here. And again, I will cut this down. You do have to be careful. They will, the pieces, the metal pieces will fly. I just hold them in my hand as I get rid of them, or I should say get rid of the ends. All right. So there we go. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to be covering it up. So we'll go ahead and give those a cut. You definitely want to make sure those pieces end up in your garbage can because they will definitely hurt going through the bottom of a foot if you go barefoot. All right. I'll just keep my floral picks in here. Honestly, I picked up a whole bunch of floral picks. I don't know if it was a garage sale or the Craig Bachman warehouse sale, but I was able to get a whole bunch, and I just put them into a Ziploc bag. It's just super easy to grab. All right, so we have this, and this is going to go in on the side, so I'm not going to cut that one down. I'm not going straight over the top, or straight down through the top, I should say. All right, same again. This one's going in through the side. Now the other stuff that we're going to do is going to go on the top. So what is everybody up to? It is summer, which is amazing. We just got back last night from Missouri and Tennessee. And I will say, after being gone for a long time, it was super, super nice to sleep in our own bed. So yes, I'm like, whew, I can do this. I don't know how many, I think we were 4 different hotels. So it was a lot. So, all right. So I'm just cutting and pasting. All right, and there we have it. So, hello, I think it's Raina Jean and Angela. Again, you know what? I pulled it up here to the right, but it's not showing me the name, so I'm gonna have to really, really strain my eyes to see you guys. But there, I just have the moss all the way around the top of the jar. And if you have watched me before, you guys do know that I like to kind of clean up as I go when I'm live, not necessarily when it's just me. but I just want to make sure, let's see, those can go back and be used in the bag. And honestly, you guys, I just keep a garbage can down off on the side underneath here, and then just sweep it in there. It's just so much easier to kind of keep the area clean as I go when I'm live or doing a tutorial. And we can do that. So it's just, but when I'm by myself, I don't. It just goes everywhere and everything. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start with these picks. Oh, and this is just, when you do something like this, you do want smaller greenery, like smaller leaf greenery. I did pull out a little bit like of a Dusty Miller bush, and we're gonna see, it might be a little too big, some of these, but sometimes I was like, oh, might be kind of nice just to give a variety of leaves in there instead of it all going to be this kind. But I didn't want anything big and overpowering. And so honestly, what I'm gonna do, I trim that down. I'm going to stick it in here, just like that. And I do want the greenery basically coming right up to the moss, okay? And then, so I'll do that, and then I'm just kind of gonna alternate between the greenery and some of the flowers. And again, with these flowers, I do want them being close. I don't want them being far away. And all I'm doing, I use a glue pot. It's right there. It is my preferred method instead of using a glue gun. And again, I do want the flowers pretty close to the moss. Okay, but they are sticking up because I do want them with the greenery. I don't want it like way down and then some greenery just sticking up. I'm just going to want the greenery to kind of go in between the flowers. All right, so we have this. I'm gonna put that right here. I'm actually gonna trim it down just a little bit more. You guys, this greenery from At Home is one of my favorite greeneries. I do love it. I know that Hobby Lobby will carry something similar, but my favorite is from At Home. And I will say that now the At Home store near us closed, and so I haven't been to one in quite a while. I mean, I have another one close, it's just not as convenient to get to. And I haven't been in there, but I will tell you, these were a hit or miss. I felt like every person that was like a wreath maker in our area knew about these, and everybody would always go and kind of like clear them out when they get it. But I think you can order them online too. All right, so now I'm just kind of surrounding that with a little bit of greenery. Now I'm gonna add some more flowers. This one is pretty big. So the larger one, I don't think I want to be at the bottom. If I do, I'm gonna put it over here. But for right now, I'm just gonna put that one off to the side. All right. All right, so this one I'm going to be placing right underneath. Now you can do all different kinds of arrangements with this if you want, but I just want this to be more of kind of like the round dome top, because this would also be cute just empty, or you could fill it with rocks and use it just in some like home decor designs as well. All right. Let me see. Oh, yeah. All right, this one I'm going to place over here. And that's pretty much like all this one is going to be, is just alternating alternating kind of the flowers and the greenery. And then at the end, these are gonna be my fillers. So we're gonna do that. What is everybody up to today? We went, there's some really pretty, I'm gonna use these buds too as fillers. All right, so this one's the larger one. And I'm just gonna kind of look. I am gonna kind of hold off on that larger one for now. And I need to get some of these in there. These are the ones that have kind of the center, the green here. I'll hold them up. You can see the difference. I call those, I have the little pumpkin center. They're really cute. And then those are just plain. But I want to make sure that I get something with the pumpkin center up here. And if it's easier for you to start with all the flowers, you can do that as well. And the nice thing about this is you can do any colors that you want to. You can find the jars that you want. These would actually also make really good centerpieces at a wedding because they're lower profile. Now at our wedding, I did not go for low profile. We had tall and large arrangements that I ended up making. I mean, really, I feel like my husband should have had his first sign of my flower addiction when we got married, because I did all the centerpieces. I got family to help. And we just like did all of them. I remember there was a store. Oh, do you guys remember LTD Commodities? I think they're still around. But that was in like one of the suburbs of Chicago, and they have, which is where we live, and they would do like a sale, and we went to the sale and I picked up these beautiful, they were black iron and they were just really tall. They came here and then they kind of went out and they held candles all the way around in like glass, like little buckets all the way around. And then the top was like for a big topiary arrangement. And that's what I did. I had drooping hydrangeas and, wisteria, drooping wisteria, along with hydrangeas and greenery. And I did end up selling all of them, except one. I kept one for myself. And I was like, oh, I'll put it in decoration in the house. Never have. Never have. All right. So there we're just kind of putting the greenery all the way around. And again, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. And I'm going to put because I want to spread these out. So I'm going to put one over here, and then I'm going to put one over here. And I do like to think in shapes. So this is kind of going to be a triangle with these. Oh, come on. Now there are some people that do not like using the floral, the spray foam. But I don't mind it. I will say I have ruined a few pieces because the foam can be tricky to work with. I definitely don't recommend using it with like thin metal pieces. But this was wood up on the top. With thin metal pieces, it really ruined it. It took it all out of shape. So there we have that. And again, you guys, now that I'm putting this together, I am totally seeing wedding design. And these jars come in all different kinds of colors. And I know I have seen them in clear. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous with the clear. And then you could do like white, and then maybe in the clear do some type of like colored rocks that might be the accent of your bridesmaids' dresses. I don't know like if a candle, not a real candle. You definitely could not do a real candle in there, but the battery operated ones might work. I don't know. I don't know how hot they get. That would be a question for my husband. Honestly, he's a fireman. He would probably tell me, you're not doing that. I definitely think the rocks would be really pretty in there. All right, so now it's coming along. I do have some more of, there I need to also put in another piece of greenery right here, but we need to put in some more white flowers as well. Oh, I do have one more left on this. Because this, I know I have said this, but this really is my favorite greenery, and part of the reason is because you can just pull it apart in the picks. Like each individual stem that these are in are great. I have never had a problem with the wire that's in there. All right, so there we have that. Kind of have my 3. Now I'm gonna try to add some more of the flowers below. What's gonna go right there? It's just simple. We are getting ready for a garage sale. And I was like, oh, I can't have, I don't want to do something like too elaborate where I have to get like more floral and everything out. And so I was like, what could we do that I wouldn't make a giant mess? And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Not getting a giant mess. Okay, so I have a little bit of space to use. I'm gonna have to use these larger ones. And I am gonna save those buds. I'm gonna pull off all the larger ones for right now and use those. And then here's this one. All right. And if you hear some noise, that is our college age child is home. If this is like your first time watching, we have 3 children, and we have 1 in college, 1 in high school, and 1 in elementary school. So it's 2 girls and a boy. The girls play basketball and they keep us really busy. Excuse me as I cough. All right, so this one can be a smaller one right here, but I've been able to kind of fill up all the way around. And I know I have some spots down there. I can either add greenery, but I'm also gonna be adding this. They're like those blush pink little flowers. And again, you don't want to use anything with large flowers on these, just because it will be really overwhelming. All right, I need to put 1 more right there. And I'm actually gonna go with this smaller one right here. I think, bending down. Yep, I'm gonna go with the smaller one. Because the big one would just be a little too big. And that I'm just pushing straight through. Pull it out just a tiny bit more. All right, so there we kind of have it. I'm gonna be filling all of this in with greenery as well. Okay, I've got 2. So I have 2 of these left over, which I don't think I'm gonna need. And this, so you guys, my little guy, he is in there just making noise. Actually, I am gonna use these. I'm gonna pull them off right now. He's in there making noise. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but it's really cute. And I will say, if you have girls and boys, as kids, you guys know they are different. Raising them is different. All right. Oh, this one I'm going to kind of just, I think, put right there sticking up. And I have 3 of these buds. And again, what I'm going to do is just make that triangle. I want to make the triangle. I think in shapes, I think part of it is just the teacher and me. So, for many years, all I taught was math, reading, and writing to three different grade levels. So I definitely pretty much always have math on my mind. All right. So there we have those. So kind of sticking up. It's actually, honestly, just even a beautiful way to even do a bouquet. You could do roses in here as well. They would be really pretty with this greenery. And we're gonna go ahead. Before I'm gonna do those finishing touches, I wanna do the greenery. So again, I just pull these apart. That's what I love about these. I just pull them apart. One of my favorite wreaths that I ever did had a bunny in a hammock attachment. And I use this as the grass, like for the bunny. Makes great grass if you're doing more of a scenic scape wreath. And that wreath, oh, I love that wreath. It was one of my favorites. And he sold and he went to Texas. And I'm like, oh, you're living your best life in a warm climate. Not really, you know, but that's what I'm thinking, like warm, not in a cold climate anymore. Although today it's really hot. And I'm loving it. I'm cutting this down, and all I'm doing is going down around the edges. All right. And I do want it kind of draping, and if it will, it should. A lot of them should. It can also bend the wire. You can also bend it like that to help with the drooping. And here I'm going in between every flower. So every flower in between. All right. Just turning. So how many of you, like I said, we got a garage sale that we're getting ready for. How many of you guys go to garage sales? I used to do a whole lot. And then honestly, it got to the point our house got full, just got completely full. And I was like, I don't need to go anymore. And I didn't go to one like last year, because I would just go like look for, you know, stuff, you know, such as like jars, you know, stuff like that you could do for, or like bowls, like arrangements that you can make. I would do stuff like that. Or I was going, for a while I would paint things, and so I'd be like, look, I remember I got these pumpkins at a garage sale, and I came home and I painted them all. And then I was like, okay, the shelves too full, and I just stopped. And then honestly, I took most of that stuff, I think, to Goodwill, because I'm like, I'm never gonna get this painted. It's never a project I'm gonna be done or ready to go with. And then this started really taking off, making the wreaths with the Etsy shop, and I just said, forget it. But I do love flipping and turning old stuff into new. It's definitely one of my favorite things. first got into this, I was painting furniture and I loved it. We have a lot of painted furniture. In fact, I stand around here. I've got a library case that I painted up. I don't know if you guys can see this. This was all painted. So I actually picked that up at Goodwill, and it had like the hutch because it was like one of those old dining room hutches. The hutch I even painted up and kind of cut it off, and I put it in my laundry room as shelving. But I don't do that anymore because, again, it takes up too much room. And I can tell you that it is a lot easier to store florals than it is pieces of furniture. All right, so there I have, yep, 2 bushes of the Greenery. Oops. Do have to be careful because the lids aren't like super tight on there. All right, so that is coming off. That is actually looking really good, and I'm now ready to add these. And then I do have some more of these to add if I want to, and then still might put in some of the Dusty Miller picks. We'll see. We will see. Like I said, if you're watching, I would love to know where you're watching from. And if you're a wreath maker, please put your page down below so I know and I can go follow it. It's always fun to have people, like supporting people. So, hi Amy. Hi Leanne, thank you. For those of you guys who don't know Amy, she is Mountaintop Wreath Co. And she is one of my wreath besties. And life has taken each of us kind of in a different direction. And we haven't been able to chat as much as we used to, but I miss it. We still have to chat. We still have to figure this out and schedule a time for us to meet. All right, so this one's gonna need a pick on the end. When I did cut it, it doesn't really have strong piece of metal in it. So with this one, I'm using my steel pick machine. And again, it's longer, and I'm just gonna cut it because I don't need it that long. And I do cut these at an angle to kind of help with the sharpness. So, Miss Amy, I was down in Chattanooga. I just got back last night. I'll have to fill you in while we were there, but I wasn't there. And I did look it up to see how far away from you I was. It was gonna be like 3 hours. I'm like, I'm not here long enough. I am not here long enough. So there you go. You can kind of see how that pink is peeking through, I should say. North Idaho, Raina. Oh, it's raining and low 60s. I'm sorry. Is the weather always like that in Idaho? Because that would be kind of hard for me. All right, so I just cut another one, and you guys, I'm just picking through this stem as we go through. And this one's gonna go up here. This one I'm hoping has strong enough wire. And then, like I said, don't forget, like Amy is Mountaintop Wreath Co. Leanne and Raina, if you are wreath makers, please drop your, or attachment makers, please put your page in the comments. All right. And again, remember, I like to think of shapes. So we are going to do a triangle with this. I am just kind of pushing this through. I'm not sure if this one actually is gonna go in. I wasn't sure because it's not really, it's just hard plastic for the stem. There was no wire in it to kind of help going, but it did work. All right, so there we have the triangle, okay, pointing down. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of come and fill around in different areas around the side with this. Amy, how is everybody doing in your family? Sarah, you're watching from Georgia. Okay, Rena, it's been crazy. What is the normal weather like for you guys? I don't think I've had anybody on from Idaho before, so I'm super excited. And then Georgia, hi. For just a quick bit, I was in Georgia this weekend. You know, when the, was it 24 comes in from Nashville, comes in, and you dip down into Georgia before going to Chattanooga. And I will say the first time I was in Georgia was in March. And, which is beautiful. We go to Alabama a lot. We love Alabama. And it's an easy drive. But we always hear how bad Atlanta traffic is, Sarah. We always hear like how bad it is. But we're from Chicago, like up here. Like we have bad traffic too. Yeah, I will take Chicago traffic over Atlanta traffic any day. And we went through on a Sunday afternoon. I was like, oh my goodness. So, all right. So I'm just kind of putting that there. It's kind of, I'm going to do another one right here. And yeah. I don't know where you're at in Georgia, Sarah, but Amy is on the Georgia-Alabama line. And she's Mountaintop Rico. And Amy will go live on Friday nights. And Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 7 p.m. your time? Because she's Eastern and we're Central. Because I feel like I have it as 6 p.m. Central time. And then hot, humid, and steamy. Oh, Amy, you know I love it. So summertime, okay, Rena, it's 70s. Oh, so Rena, I think it's probably similar to the climate in northern Illinois. So summertime, yeah, that would be about typical for us too. And you guys, all I'm doing is cutting these. And this one I'm gonna cut right here. And then, okay, Rena, you don't have a page. All right, well, if you ever want to, let me know. If you ever want setting up with Etsy, let me know. Amy, who is here in the comments, is really good. And then we have another friend, Lauren Kilgore, who's also really good with Etsy. And I say that, Amy's probably like, I am too busy, but she's not. She's not. She will help you. She will take the time and help. She's a really, really great person. All right, so there, kind of see how it's going and putting around. I'm probably gonna put one on the top too, just because. And I am gonna need 2 of these because I did not see these at Michael's this year. And it was a little sad. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's really, really pretty. All right. Burned myself. That one hurt. All right. Isn't that funny? Like, We can just burn ourselves and it's like nothing. All right. All right, so there we go. You guys, I could just see this, like if you did this as, you know, I was a teacher. I mean, for certain teachers, like you could definitely do their aesthetic, but I know several teachers that have this aesthetic. And again, you just fill it up with candy for like Teacher Appreciation Day. And then, all right, I'm just kind of looking. I've got to go 1, 2, I think 4 more, which means I'm going to be dipping into the other stem of this, and that's fine. And then, oh, Sarah, born and raised. So then what took you to Georgia? And Amy said yes. She is 7 p.m. Eastern time zone. So, Rena, I didn't grow up, Sarah, born in Rockford. I went to Rockford growing up a lot. I grew up kind of near Rockford. All right, I gotta put this up here. Sorry, I was really that, again, burnt Sunday. Oh, it did snow. Crazy. So we have really good friends that live near Fort Collins, Colorado. And they posted, what, June? It was May. It was snowing for them. I think they had like a foot of snow. Like it definitely can be, the weather can definitely be crazy out there. And I said it can be crazy here too, because I do feel like we can be really hot and then just get crazy cold at night. And honestly, I think one time recently we had snow and tornado warnings going off in the same areas. One day, I don't know if it was this spring, if it was last spring, I can't remember. All right, this I'm gonna turn over. I think I'm gonna turn it over. Is it gonna cooperate? All right, so there, that's done. And I gotta do one more. Oh, maybe I will have enough. We will see. No, well, nope. Oh, wait, I might. So one of these bushes might be enough. And on my glue pot, I don't know how you guys like clean your glue pot, but I'm trying to use up all my glue so I can give it a good clean. I don't know how you guys do it, but I just end up kind of turning it on, getting a little warm, and then scraping it out. I think I used a spoon the last time. Sorry, this one's a little tricky to get in right here. All right. So Raina or Sarah, are you a wreath maker? And then Raina, do you do it more for like a hobby or your friends? Or do you sell at craft shows, like local craft shows? All right, so there we have that. I do have one left, and I am going to have this one come on top. Although I'm gonna be honest with you, I think I'm gonna go into the other one, and kind of all I'm doing is like cutting these. So there's a little bit of metal in the stem. I'm gonna have this go. We're gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can get away with this. Kind of like right up at the top. So you guys hear my little guy? He's down in the basement not in the basement, down on the first floor. He is just entertaining himself, having a great old time. I told him I was going live, and he knows. Normally, if I'm up here working, he would just kind of yell, "Mom!" But I told him, I said, this time you're gonna have to come up and get me if you need it. So I actually think that's gonna be okay, just like one sticking up there. So I just use one of those branches. And I am just looking around for any gaps that I kind of need to fill. I can see like right here, I need to use another stem of Greenery. All right. And that one just fell off. I will say I have not, like that just came right off. That's the first time I've had this happen with these. Well, I don't see where it would connect, so I'm just gonna leave it. And trim this off. All right, might be a couple spots that we're going. Oh, keep that up so I don't burn myself. All right, it was this spot right here. Do you guys have any tips and tricks on setting up for garage sales? I've done a few, but it's been a while. Usually I just pull everything out, get it on the tables, and then go through and price. All right, so that is there. And then kind of right under here, I'm gonna put another one right there, just another piece of Greenery. And then we're gonna decide if I should do the Dusty Miller or not. All right, here's where I need to go. Ooh. Gotta be careful. These lids do not, if you get the jars from Home Goods, they are not like very secure. So just be aware of that. All right, now we're gonna decide. Dusty Miller. Here, I'm gonna cut one off right here. Should I do some Dusty Miller just to give it some different kind of texture? There's still the same family. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Do you think I should add some Dusty Miller? And I'm gonna go catch up on comments while you're saying yes or no. I don't even know if you could see it. Oh, you love it, Rena. Very good. Okay, took us to Alabama, Montgomery. Oh, the Savannah area. Oh, really pretty. So, Sarah, a lot of the wreath making community was just in Savannah. This past weekend, I don't know if you saw that. Candy's crew, they did a retreat, and they were great. I was just talking to Lauren Kilgore this morning and Ashley Greenwood from Three Little Greenwoods, and they said it was a blast. And they're like, you have to come next year, because they do have the dates out for next year. And I was like, oh, around my birthday. Might be a birthday present. We'll see. What are you guys thinking with this? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards, yes, I know you guys can't. It's really hard to see. But it does just give a nice, just a little bit differently. So, just kind of there. All right. All right. So, I'm just going to add just a few pieces to this. All right. Just, again, it's the same color Greenery. It's just giving a little bit different texture. Just a little pieces just to kind of play peekaboo. So, Sarah, what has been your favorite place to live? We would love to move south in a few years. We'd definitely love to get where we don't have to shovel snow. Our high schooler, she wants to go to college down south. And I'm like, please do, please do. But our oldest, she's at an Illinois school. So she's still up here. All right. Okay. Again, just adding just a little bit of the Dusty Miller. And this one I'm kind of doing a square shape around the top. Oh, come on. This is where it does get a little tricky because I'm just using like one leaf and the wire is not super strong. But there we have that. And so it's kind of hard. And I think I'm going to put some kind of just coming off to the side as well. Go. What would you guys use this for? More as a hostess gift or a teacher's gift? A wedding centerpiece? See that? Could really see this happening with the weddings, especially if you get like some of the draping greenery, or even if you would get like a taller jar. That's there. So I'm just kind of going around. I'm more filling underneath the flowers. Just to, because the other area has the at-home greenery. And I don't know where this Dusty Miller came from. I am guessing I picked it up at one of our local mom and pop shops. And I say that, just local small business, but you guys know what I mean. Not a big online retailer. But I like it because it's the flocked, like Dusty Miller. And so it's very elegant. All right. Just again, I'm just going under those flowers. Under those flowers. And then here I need to go. So I need to go on this side. And hopefully let me see, I might need, okay, so there's a big gap between here and here of them, so I need one right there. I'll go with this one. Oh, my glue pot's getting down really low. So I actually might be able to clean after this. All right, so right here. All right. Now, because again, I'm a perfectionist, so I want to make sure that the sides are kind of all hanging down pretty close to even. The same measurement. And what I'm going to do is add, so this side's a little bit shorter, I'm just going to add one piece right there. to me, like those are like the little details that really separates like designs out. If you kind of look at that and go, I don't know, I do have a good like attention to detail, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, I'll be honest with you, because sometimes I notice things that like nobody else notices, and they're like, it's fine, and I'm like, no, it's not. And they're like, it's fine. And then you walk away and you look at it and you're like, it's fine. It really is fine. So there we have it. There we go. It's just kind of a nice gift. It can be a hostess gift. Oh, you did, Sarah? Okay, Sarah signed up for the event next year. It's what, Christmas in the South? I can't remember what it's called. Lauren sent me the link. She's like, you have to sign up. So if I do sign up, Sarah, we're going to have to meet up. So Splat Decor. Okay. All right, Sarah, I'm going to follow you when I get off of this live. But do you guys have any questions regarding this? Did you go this year, Sarah, or didn't at all? Okay, Splat Decor, Splat. I'm gonna remember that. So, hopefully, I don't know which one's coming in sooner. But there we go. And Sarah, I will be giving you a follow here. But if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'm pulling off all the glue strings now. And I will answer them. At least I will do my best to answer them. So, but that is just kind of how I do these. I really think they're just great for teacher gifts. And again, they can just use them. You guys, I can honestly see this jar, like even you could just pick a color that you like and honestly could sit on the back of the toilet tank. It's really pretty. It would just be pretty. Or in this, like in your bathroom, like in the corner, like next to the sink, I could see that. If you have like an old style, and I say that old style because that's what we have with the tubs that, you know, are kind of like sunken in and the tiles all the way around. This would be really pretty filled with Epsom salt, you know, sitting there. You could even do like cotton balls for your bathroom. Oh, okay. Ha, Jody, just got here. Can you do it again? Just for you, Joni. No, I'm teasing. Joni's one of my really good friends, guys, so I can tease her back. You didn't know about it till a month before. I knew, but I knew that we were going to Missouri and Alabama or Tennessee, so I knew I couldn't do it. But Joni, you can come over here and we can do this. Or Joni, this is something that we could do on one of your lives. So, but yes, so thank you. I hope that you have that. And Joni, we need to chat too. We need to chat and see. I'm not, it's kind of crazy. Oh, and yes, Joni, I will be messaging you because we're having a garage sale and I think that you might want to come over. So, all right. Thank you, you guys. I'm going to get going because, like I said, I have to set up for that garage sale. I'm very fortunate. I do a family helping out, so it's going to be okay. And I'm not really stressed. Like in the past, like you would get like, oh, I got to get all this stuff done and I'm kind of running around. But knowing I have family coming in, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm going to go start getting the table set up and everything else. But all right, you guys, have a great afternoon. If you are watching the replay and you do have questions, please either send me a message. You can email me at julie@driftwoodhilldesign.com as well if you have a question, or put it down here in the comments. And if you could tag Driftwood Hill, if it will let you do that, then that way it'll send me a notification on Facebook. But otherwise, I will do my best to kind of catch it if you do have a question when you're watching the replay. All right, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will be here next Tuesday. I am not sure if, I don't know if it's going to be at 1:30 or if it's going to be a little bit later. We will see, but I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.